Welcome back to Just Railroading. Alright everybody, so today we're going to be working on this 1666E. I picked this up at the same train show, train show slash train store that I went to a couple weeks ago. And it's in pretty good shape. I don't have the tender for it. I did get a tender, but not the one for it. But it is gunmetal grays. You can kind of can see it. It's a little hard to see in this light, but it is that pretty gray metallic color. It's in pretty good condition. The rear trucks have been replaced. It's missing some screws out of there. I got to figure that out, but it's in pretty good shape. Nothing's stuck. It's all 100% there. So let's start working on this one. Okay, so I picked this thing up, didn't pay a lot for it. Give like $50 for it, which I don't think is too terrible of a deal considering what it is. Like I said, these have been replaced. Either they're new replacements or they come off of another engine. I'm not really sure which, but it's just this one little screw here holding it. And I'm going to have to come up with some screws. As you can see, that's not even the right one. And I could be wrong. This could be original. I don't really know. I don't know how the gunmetal gray ones were made. I know the other 1666s that I have, this is screwed into the back of the motor here. And then this is just its own piece. So I don't really know if that's right or if it, I guess it'll work, but I don't know. It's a little odd. Go ahead and pull these eccentric rods. Oh, you know what? Before I do anything, let's see if it runs. I need to try it and see if it even runs. Let's see what we have here. Okay, we got forward, reverse. As you can hear, it needs oil, but the E unit cycles, and we have both directions. So we got something to work with. It's always a plus. I've actually got a set of passenger cars for this thing. This was a pre-war locomotive. So it is a little different than the just plain 1666s. A little bit more to it. Still the same engine though. Same shell. Same parts. These are a little different. These are fully enclosed. Kind of like the 1664. That's how it was. They were fully enclosed. I was debating on painting this thing, repainting it, because it would be easy to do since these come off. And considering how rough this is, but I don't know if I'm going to do that yet or not. I did get a tender, like I said before, and it is gunmetal gray, but it's repainted. It's not the original. It's a repaint tender. But I did get it to kind of match the engine, so I guess we'll just go with the original and be done with it. pops out. Move down inside. And there's the motor. There's that beautiful gray. I love these things. Love that gray. That gray looks good. There's a bead of some kind. Okay. We'll set that shell to the side. We'll clean it up later. I'm going to pull these side rods off. We'll get all this polished up as we can get it. Thing don't look like it's been run much. It has been run though. I can just flip those around. That side looks better. Them are bent. Or at least that one was. This has that weird looking nut where it's kind of got a detail to it. I don't know. It's weird. Those are probably supposed to go where you can see them. Decorative. That side ain't better. That side's worse. Alright. Does our light bulb burn? See if it burns. Hopefully it does. Yep. A little bright. Must be 12 volt. Yep, 12 volt. That ain't gonna hold up long. Guess we'll pull the brush plate off and start there. These have those encapsulated brushes. Ooh, they've been used. Woo! They are right at the verge of needing new ones. Gosh. Yeah, they've been, it's been running, for sure. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and clean this stuff up. And, I'll be back after I get it cleaned up. Alright, I got the brushes put back in, got them cleaned up. I actually swapped out the brushes for the ones in this little whistle here. Had a little bit more life left on them, so now I'm going to pull this side cover off here. Kind of clean this up. Q-tip and a little alcohol. Get all that old grease. Now I'll put fresh grease back on. I like to put a little grease on this. That's where your major squeaks come from, or your vibration rattle things where it don't want to run. That's where they come from. I am still going to put a little oil on it too. I have a feeling that's never been took off, just because of how tight those screws were. I'm going to put a little oil. On the shafts on these gears. If you get a little on the wheels, it's ain't a big deal. You can wipe it off. Put a little bit more. Alright, there's that. All serviced up. I just got to oil the axles. And the motor will be done other than a little bit of cleaning. Alright guys, so I got the motor, the wheels on it all cleaned up. Got the dust out of them, so it's ready to go. And I got the front pilots cleaned up. These were black. I don't know why they chose to make them black. I would have thought it had been gray, but it was black. And now the only thing we got left to do is this shell. And this shell has a lot of scratches all over the top of it. Some of them are to the metal and some of them aren't. So I've been trying to figure out what I can do to fix this, make it nicer. And I think what I'm going to do is try to turtle wax it. We'll see how that does. I saw Ron at Classic Model Trains do a Marks, what's that thing called? Mercury set. And he used turtle wax, and it looked pretty good when he got done with it. Now, the only issue I'm going to have is, if you know anything about waxing stuff, you know it leaves stuff behind around details, and this thing's loaded with details. So, whenever I apply the wax, I'm going to use a new shoe polish brush. That's what he used. Ron used one of these, and it worked. So I'm going to try it on this. We'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work, I can always take it back to the house and wash it back off in the sink. And we'll try plan B, which is lacquer clear, and see if that lacquer clear does it. But let's start applying some and see how it goes. I'm not going to mess too much with the lower half of it, just because I know this ain't going to 100% fix it. But hoping it'll take care of a little of it. At least make it presentable. It does look better. All them little details, that's the worry. Alright. Use that shoe brush now. This one's brand new, like I mentioned. Guys, that really actually did the trick. Of course it didn't hide it, but it covered it enough to where it's not sticking out. Because all that was white and chalky, now it's, it's evened out more. It looks a lot better than it did. So I call that a win. Thank you, Ron, for that very good technique, because that really works. That really did the job. All right, guys, let's go ahead and put this thing back together. All right, I got the shell flipped upside down. I did come up with 2 new screws for this. I just realized I forgot to put the side rods on, but it ain't a big deal. Kind of bad when you go a couple days without remembering where everything went. You have to play that game, guess the screw. This is a 12-volt bulb, and I don't know if it's going to hold up very long. Apparently it held up for somebody, but I don't know how. Let's see, yeah. Goes like that. Okay. I'm looking for another one of these shells, not the gray, but a black one. I have 2 of these. One of them's in really good shape, but it's not. The shell's not in good shape, and that ain't gonna fit. All right, we're gonna have to modify on that a little bit. I believe this is a reproduction piece. I stuck it in the vise and squished it a little. Okay. We're just going to put the side rods back on. I didn't bother polishing these because the plating's kind of shot, so. These are the same wheels that suffer from zinc pest. Same type. Okay. Put that there. Okay, yeah, I didn't put that in the right spot. Alright, there it is. We'll do the other side now. Alright, well there it is. It's all shiny and put back together. I put 2 new marker light jewels. Put the bell back on. I think it looks pretty good. Let's take it over there and see how it does. Alright everybody, so here's the locomotive on the track here. And there's the passenger cars I've got to go along with it. Now, these are post-war passenger cars, they're not pre-war. The locomotive's pre-war, but I don't have the right kind of tender. I'm supposed to have a tender like that one. Which this one was one of those, and then someone took the trucks off and put those kind. And then they repainted it and done some other stuff, so I had to kind of make it match the engine, but I put it back together so it looks pretty good now. But I think it looks pretty good together, you know, post-war and pre-war, which those are kind of pre-war if you think about it. The shells, they just got post-war trucks, so they look pretty good. But I got all this stuff at the same store except for the tender. Didn't get that. And then I've had this locomotive over here. I've had it probably since I was 12 years old. And I just recently got some nice passenger cars to go along with it. So we're going to run these two together because I think that's appropriate. So let's see how good they run. Well, I think they run pretty good. That one's really smooth, runs really good. Pulls pretty good too. These are heavy. That tender's really heavy too. It's got a whistle in it. But that one there, I've had it for a while. You know. I figured I'd run them together since they're both gunmetal gray. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye-bye.